Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I'm your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Capricorn in the month of February 2019. What's going on, Capricorn? How you guys doing? I don't know why I whispered to you like a creep like that, but that's what I did just then. And, you know, sometimes we just make odd life choices, don't we? Anyway, how you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Capricorn, I shuffled ahead of time, excuse me, to save time a little bit, so that's your main spread there. What we'll do now is we'll shuffle for the outcome and the overall energy. Excuse me. A little bit of a residual cough from the colds I've had in January. Anyway, once all cards are out and they're lying face up, that's when the reading begins. You can check for that time in the description box. There will be a nice little stamp I put down there for you. So you can skip ahead and leave me in the chatter behind. Also down there, you will find the information you need to get a personal reading with me if you feel so inclined. Readings are $25. Send me an email, let me know what you need. I say, okay, I'll do your video. And then once you send me the payment for the video, I will send you the video back. Commerce, right? There is a 24 to 72 hour turnaround. I usually get them done in about 48 hours, if I'm honest. And yeah, that's all you really need to know. But if you do have a question, just email me. The email down there works for both the readings and the questions. Just kind of let me know I'm asking a question about a reading. I'm not ordering a reading, you know, just a little bit of a heads up. Okay. Yeah, that's really it. Let's get that outcome for you in February 2019. Capricorn outcome in February 2019. February 2019 outcome for Capricorn. Whoa. That was quick. Do we want that? Yeah, because I said it. I don't know whose voice that was, but... Oh, and your overall energy. It's you. All right, guys, let's flip the remaining cards and see what else is going on here. Well, well, well. I had a feeling that would come up. You got a lot of majors, boys and girls. A lot of majors. Let's see what's happening, huh? Please show me Capricorn in February 2019. Please show me Capricorn in February. Please show me where Capricorn is in February 2019. Please show me. Okay, here. Okay. Interesting. All right, coming into February 2019, Capricorn, you have the Nine of Cups in reverse. I will show you this card upright so you can become used to it. And this is the Steampunk Tarot, in case you were wondering who makes these wonderful illustrations. Actually, I just told you the title, but I don't know who makes it. The box is like way over there and I can't see it, so I don't know who the illustrator is. Anyway, Nine of Cups reverse. Boy. Maybe a little disappointed. I feel for some of you this is going to be a trying month, or this might be a trying time, I should say. A little bit of like a draining is how they're showing me, like a I wish I could describe what I'm seeing, but it's like a draining of joy or happiness, or maybe of disappointment or missed expectations. There's something about a lot of anticipation, looking forward to, feeling invigorated and excited by something, but then it just doesn't come into fruition the way you want it to, the way you hoped it would. It doesn't feel as good to get what you get, or it doesn't feel correct, or you simply don't get what you desired. Because the Nine of Cups is about ultimate desires. It is about a wish coming true. It is about, you know, kind of having your cake and eating it too. Some of you might get the cake, but maybe you can't eat it. Or when you get the cake, you realize, oh my God, this is a gluten-free cake. I didn't ask for that. Something like that. So you might get what you want, but it just doesn't tick those boxes or ring the bell like you hoped it would. Or you totally don't get what you expected. It's something completely different. Or you get it, but you're not able to enjoy it. Okay? So that's where like this drain is there. I think you get it. I think you get very close to it, or it's just like, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I expected. This is not what I anticipated. What the hell is this? Is kind of what I'm feeling here. You know? And that sucks because in the upright, that looks super cool. Like, there's like Cheers, but in like the 17th century or something. Where everybody knows your name. And I don't know why I sang it that way. But, you know, it's like a Cheers situation. Like this woman, she has like the first Cheers ever to exist on planet Earth or something. But obviously that's not happening here completely when it comes in reverse. The reversals are not always the opposite to me. It's not always a full-on disappointment. I think it's just like a close but no cigar, like just a little bit off the mark of where you wanted it to be. And maybe that's like what makes it disappointing for you, is like it was so close to being exactly what I wanted. I was so close to getting this thing or going to this place or experiencing this for the first time in my life, but I didn't get it, or it's been delayed, or it didn't come the way I wanted it to. So like that could be the disappointment, is because you were anticipating it for so long, you had such expectations, and then, you know, those you know, I don't think I have to tell you, Capricorn, when you are disappointed, it's not a parade. You know, and it's not a knock on you. Some zodiacs carry or can withstand disappointment way better than you. You do not take kindly to disappointment. It really ruffles your feathers. It really puts a dampening on whatever is going on in your life. It kind of permeates over your entire personality sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Now, why are you disappointed, or what are you disappointed in? Or does that even matter? What's next here? Well, there's all that, what we were just talking about, all that expectation and hope, but then I think the reality is down here with you. So what do we want to do? I think we want to talk about the expectations, yeah? Let's paint that picture, shall we? So, what you expected was a lot of freaking happiness, a lot of joy, a lot of whoop-de-doo, like just amazeballs is what you were hoping for, what you were sure of, and you might still get it. That's the thing. I have to put that down here. You might still get it. It just might. Thank you. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so immediately, what do we see here? Something that mimics the face of a clock, right? And there is actually, well, it's not an actual clock, but just a lot of clock imagery and symbolism here, right? So in time, you might get what you want. Maybe, oh God, I'm so stupid. Well, not stupid, but like they just want me to point out the obvious. Maybe some of you have high expectations for Valentine's Day, and you just don't get those expectations. You know, maybe you were wanting something more than, like, you know, the dozen roses bought at the side of the street or on the highway on the way home from work. You were expecting a nice dinner. You were expecting maybe a weekend away, or, you know, a gift that you've been hinting that you wanted, and your partner drops the ball and just gets you those, you know, highway roses. Happy Valentine's Day, babe. You know, or, you know, maybe even worse, like some of you are getting like the chocolate, the discounted chocolate on February 17th. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about Valentine's Day. Here you go. Really? You got me discounted chocolate? Like, you know, so there's something for some of you. This is not obviously for all of you, because this is not a love reading. It's a general reading, but they wanted me to point out the obvious. So for some of you, you just have this ideal of what a great Valentine's Day will be, and your partner, male or female, I don't care who it is just like kind of missing the mark. And it's about the consideration, you know? You have hinted, you have kind of suggested, this year should be a great Valentine's Day, don't you think, babe? And yeah, okay. You know? And someone just really didn't take you for your word. Or maybe some of you downplayed the emphasis that, or the impact or the importance that Valentine's has for you. Maybe some of you, because you're in a new thing. You don't want to like come off too strong. You don't want to scare him or her away by saying, oh, I love Valentine's Day. It's such a good, you know, and that, so maybe you downplayed how important it is to you. So you're like, someone's like, oh, do you want to do something for Valentine's? Like, what kind of things do you would like to do? And you're like, I don't know, like, whatever you think is good. It doesn't have to be crazy or anything. But on the inside, you're like, please, God, be romantic. Please, God, be romantic. And then you come and you get those stupid roses, you get the discounted chocolate, and you're like, damn, I should have said more. So that's a total sideline for a few of you. Because obviously not everybody's in a relationship and not everybody gives a damn about Valentine's Day. And there's nothing wrong if you do. But for those of you who are like, bah humbug, let's move on and get to your shit, right? So regardless of why you're disappointed, I feel that the timing is an issue. Like I said, you might have had this idea that something would have been accomplished or achieved or obtained by a certain date, and it just comes and it goes. The day comes and goes. Maybe you were going to close on a deal at your job. Maybe you were looking for a promotion, or maybe you're having your yearly review in February, and you're like, come on, I'm looking for a bonus, or I'm looking for that promotion, and you don't get it. You know, you might be told, oh, you know, we're considering you for next year. And you're like, next year? Disappointment. Total disappointment. I have to wait around another year for you to consider me for whatever position. And that's the thing. I forget who I was talking to about this. I think it was in a previous reading that I did here. It could have been a non-general reading. I was saying this to someone. But the Wheel of Fortune, like we were just discussing, deals with time. And the thing about it is, it's the time of the universe, it's the time of source, it's the time of God, the angels, whatever you believe in or don't believe in that exists outside of this little blue ball that we're spinning on, okay? And in their estimation, in its estimation, however you want to phrase it, the timing is right. That you get something or don't get something. Here in the mortal world, we don't like that. I want the thing when I want the thing, and I want it to be on time. If it comes too early, man, this is too much. It's overbearing. It's stressful. It's too fast, too soon. If it comes too slowly, if it's delayed, we're like, oh my God, I needed this yesterday. I needed this last week. Why is this taking so long, etc., etc. And the issue is a human issue. In terms of what we're tapping into today in the tarot, which is something esoteric, which is something spiritual, metaphysical, the timing is correct. So I'm not saying it personally, but I think the universe would be saying tough cookies. Or, you know, and in my family, we don't say tough cookies. We say tough something else. So tough cookies, basically, is how I'm feeling this is sort of going to be displayed to you, whether it's in this reading or whether it will be displayed to you in some other form. Because in the grand scheme of things, Capricorn, as much as you might be disappointed in the lack of a great Valentine's Day, not getting a job or a bonus when you wanted it to, having to do things quicker than you want, whatever it is, you're not broken. You can still have your joy. You can still have your ultimate success. You can still have your ultimate contentment and happiness and elation, okay? It's just maybe not right now. Is kind of what they're having me just maybe not right now. Or maybe it's coming sooner and you're unprepared and it's like, well, maybe you should have been prepared. It's kind of what I'm feeling. It's like, roll with the punches, baby. Is how they're kind of, who is that? That's very casual. I normally have like these very formal fuddy-duddy phrases coming to me, but that one was just like, roll with the punches, baby. Like I felt very Vegas-y about it. Like I felt very, not myself, but like the energy behind it was very, don't worry, baby, just roll the dice, don't worry. It's how it was. So there is this idea of control, or again, expectation. And I think that's kind of the hindrance for you. You know, the Wheel of Fortune also can be associated with the fixed signs sometimes. And when you have fixed energy, it's just not flexible. And I think you would be encouraged to be flexible. As a mutable sign, or excuse me, not immutable sign, excuse me, a cardinal sign, you might struggle a little bit with flexibility. So take that however you want it. You know, you can be who you are, or you can think, okay, let me just relax a little bit. And I think that's kind of what, in tandem, this is kind of giving me. The emphasis on time and the emphasis on the movement through a situation or through to a certain stopping point is kind of out of your control, so don't worry about it. And again, with the Wheel of Fortune, they want me to talk about the job thing and the money that was attached to it. In some cases, it's not about a job, it's about like a windfall of money. You were expecting a loan to come through or some other type of recoupment is what I'm feeling. Not right now. Or not enough in some cases. And it's tough. I cannot imagine that any of that is easy to deal with. But c'est la vie, yeah? Now, remember what I said, though. I think you're still going to get what you want, just not when you want, or maybe not to the extent in which you were expecting it. Like maybe, like I said, you wanted a cake, but it's gluten-free. And you're like, but is that cake, though? It is cake. It's not the best cake, but it is cake. I know from experience. I've tasted it. It's cake. Ish. No. And the reason I think that you're still going to get it, or you're still at least aligned with wanting it and trying to assure that you're going to get it, is because of what's going on either side of the Wheel of Fortune. First, you have the High Priestess. So this is all you. And this is not a card of you, Capricorn, but it's all you, as in this person, rather, the image of this person, the High Priestess, looks very confident, right? Like she's doing all things magical, right? She's got that crystal ball. She's got these cards here, probably divination cards. And she's between these two pillars, right? The Alpha and the Omega, right? So the High Priestess has this deep knowledge. Knowledge that can't be really understood by mere mortals. She just has a deep knowing, and she has access to all the potential questions anyone could ever ask. And I feel that for some of you, this is where you have been, or where you've been sort of believing yourself to be, if anything. You feel very assured that what you know is what you know is what you know. As in, I got the inside track, guys. Like when you're walking into that yearly review, you're walking into to discuss your salary. You're like, I know I'm going to get that bonus. I know I'm going to get, this extra sign-on thing. I know I'm going to secure this. And it doesn't happen that way. And that's the shocker. That's the shocker. Now, the reason I think that this is coming up in a not so fortunate air for you, Capricorn, is because really the High Priestess is always to be at a distance. What do I mean by this? Please help me. Okay. And this is going to be so cliched, but that's kind of where we're going, right? Like, you know how in The Wizard of Oz, the wizard was all powerful, all knowing, and so magical and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But really it was just an old guy behind a curtain playing tricks on these, gullible people in the land of Oz. And it was just like a hoax, right? Now, I'm not trying to say any of your belief is a hoax. But what I'm saying is, because of his desire to have the Wicked Witch destroyed, he was revealed to be a fraud. Now, I'm not calling you a fraud, I'm not calling you a Wicked Witch, I'm not saying anything like that. But what I'm saying is, instead of keeping up the allure, keeping up the mystique of being the wizard, this great big head floating in this grand throne room, smoke and fire and brimstone, all that stuff from the traditional movie, right? And if you're watching The Wiz, like I would be, it's a big metallic silver head with the likeness of Richard Pryor. Instead of telling them, go away, you'll never know my secrets. He's like, nah, go kill that girl, go kill that witch, and then come back and report to me. Like, he invited the Dorothy and her friends to come back into his inner sanctum, to his lair. And that gave them permission to question, hey, you made all these promises, we killed that witch, deliver. So there's this idea of getting too close to the magic, quote unquote, too close to this, that you begin to undermine. Thank you. Here we go. I was like, why are we talking about the freaking Wizard of Oz? Here's the thing. The High Priestess, she helps us. She's that intuition. She's that little nudge in the back of your mind or in your gut that says, hey, do this or don't do that. That's great. That's kind of almost the extent of what we here as mere mortals are supposed to do with her. She's that nudge, she's that hunch, she's that little elbow in your side. Hey, 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 Capricorn, let's think about that, you know? Now, the next step that I think you could get to her is with meditation, with astral plane traveling, if you want to get into that kind of stuff. I don't get into all that, but if you wanted to, you could. I think some of you went deeper or were so fixed on having this knowledge, this predetermined, predestined, undeniable knowledge that something was going to be a certain way, that in a bit of irony, the High Priestess and the universe that she belongs to basically said, you'll never know. You'll never be 100%. So, not to say that this is karma, because I don't necessarily tap into that in my readings, but other readers do. There could be a little bit of that with them working together, if I'm honest. The Wheel of Fortune coming next to the High Priestess, there could be some karma involved there, but not a lot. What I'm getting is basically, you came too close to the wizard's curtain, and now you realize, oh, it's not what I thought. It's a little bit of a smoke and mirror show. It's quite disappointing. Okay? And not your fault, per se, but I think perhaps too trusting is something they're telling me. Too trusting. Ooh, that's big for somebody out there. You need to know that. You were too trusting of something or someone. Okay? But yeah, did I use the word gullible? Who did I use that with? I used that with the people of Oz, but I feel like they're trying to tell me you were that. You were. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe you were taking the advice from someone. Let's get to that. Thank you. You guys are great. They're the best sometimes. Listen. Look at her. Again, crystal ball. She's got the divination card. She's like in this little, you know, room. Maybe it's like a little tent at like a fair. You know, you go see the psychic with the crystal ball. Get your palms read. And ironically, get your tarot read. So maybe some of you, not necessarily calling out myself or any other tarot reading, but maybe some of you invested way too much into the esoteric space, and or you invested too much in somebody else's advice. Somebody that you thought like had sage-like advice. Somebody you thought that was like an expert on something, or they had some type of inside track. And you said, okay, bet, I hear what you're saying. I'm going to go with what you're thinking. And you just gave over your trust too easily or too readily or regularly in a cycle, repeatedly with someone, because you believed in some type of knowledge that they had that was greater than your own. If you didn't do this yourself, okay? That's important for somebody. I love when I get those. I'm not happy that you essentially will be disappointed or are feeling disappointed, or you might have been a little bit duped. I'm not happy about that. I'm happy that these messages came out clearly in my mind, because sometimes I look for validation while I'm doing these readings. I'm like, am I doing a good job? Thanks, guys. I feel good about it. Now, interestingly, on the other side, I still think it's out there for you. This Sun card. Secondary card of Leo. So you might have a Leo of significance in your life, but it does not have to be. And the High Priestess, let me go back to her. Secondary card sometimes of Pisces and Cancer. So Cancer and Pisces might be important to you, but does not have to be. Wheel of Fortune doesn't really get associated with anybody. It's more associated with the planet Jupiter, which by extension could be with a Sagittarius. But none of the signs matter, guys. It's just there for your information. Sun card. Happy, 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 happy. So, so happy, right? Joy, contentment, elation, Perhaps too perfect. Where am I getting that from? That's from a movie or something. Oh no, the quote is perhaps too pure. Anyway, and maybe that's it. Ooh, is that it? Is that what you did? Again, no blame, no fault here. But perhaps some of you built something up so much in your mind that you ran the risk of being disappointed because you dreamt so big about it. Pie in the sky kind of energy, right? Going back to that thing with the Valentine's Day. You know, you were expecting a grand, big gesture. Gesture, excuse me. Whatever. They're like, you didn't say that right. And I was just like, whatever. They know what I'm saying. I can be kind of a grammar hog and very particular about my words. And so it's funny when the guides come and they like hammer down on me. Like, you didn't say that right. And I was just like, they get it. Now, so pie in the sky, maybe like a far-fetched idea, or maybe like this, you know, I would never be one to discourage people from dreaming, you know, quote unquote, too big. But maybe that's what I'm getting here. It's like, given the situation at hand and given the people that you were dealing with, because we do have multiple people here on the card. We've got 2 people and a nice little dog, right? So there's other entities at play here. You may have overestimated what other people could do or what the situation could provide you with. And so, you know, a dream deferred. Where are you guys coming from? Maybe that's what's going on with you. A dream deferred. A great poem by Langston Hughes. I haven't read it in years. But basically, it's like this. To me, that poem, and now what they want me to kind of link this to, is like this undying, unbroken spirit. Although the spirit damn well should be broken by all accounts. You know, trial by fire, like having to really persevere through things that are difficult. And of course, the sun doesn't indicate that by itself. This is all contextual with what I'm feeling for you, okay? There's a fixation, or there's a goal, there's a dream, and you have every right to have that goal, to have that dream, to have that expectation. It's just, again, the people and or the situation that you're involved with was not supportive of that, was possibly the wrong place to invest that dream or invest that goal, or to think a certain outcome would manifest from it, or from them, or from whatever. I still think it's possible. So what do I mean? Because I've said that a few times. What do I mean? It's still possible, yet I'm telling you up here, this is like not going in your favor. Meaning, if you still dream of having the perfect Valentine's Day and you're newly dating someone, maybe it's not with that person. Keep swiping left, keep swiping right. Find someone else, right? If it's about your job and having a certain, or getting a promotion or getting a bonus, if they're telling you, we'll think about it in the next year, maybe that's true. So again, the timing would be wrong. It's still viable. It's still out there in the universe as a possibility for you. You just might have to find a new partner. You might have to wait longer than you expected. You might have to, maybe they tell you instead of a year, it's like, you know, we really wanted to give you this position. We really wanted to see you move up in the company, but we noticed that blah, blah, blah about your job performance. You come in late, you called out, you didn't take on this project, or you didn't make this sales goal. And you have all these other attributes that your bosses are telling you are great. We just want to see you improve them over the future, or over the next year. So now you know, you got your work cut out for you. So there is this aspect of keep hope alive, basically, keep to your dream, but let's get real here. Let's be honest with it. Let's be honest with ourselves. Why did I laugh like that? Why did I go crazy like that? Right down there. Because did I tell you guys? And I've had to say this a few times because I'm obviously not on camera, so you can't see me. But when I'm talking, I'm looking out across my room. There's a window over there. There's a plant over there. Hi, Sheila. I named my plant Sheila. And I also look up into the corner. I look up a lot. I'm never really looking at the board. So when I was saying, blah, 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 truth be told or something, whatever I just said, and I look down, here's what I find. Ace of Swords. This is the truth card, or one of the truth cards. It's very potent in terms of truth. You know, because swords are about communications, and aces are about those chances and those opportunities, right? And so there's a chance and an opportunity to get real, to get honest. Maybe you were deceiving yourself. Maybe you were in the counsel of someone else and they didn't necessarily deceive you, but maybe they sold you a pipe dream. Wizard of Oz. Go kill that witch and everything will be fine. Okay, we killed the witch. Can I go home to Kansas now? Oh, I don't have those powers. I can't help you. Like, bro, I just risked my life and you can't even get me back home to Kansas? I should kill you. You know? So, let's get honest. Let's be fair. Let's be open and truthful. Okay? Some of you, this is a get real card for yourself. You need to get right with yourself. You need to wake up to a few things. Or you need to amend certain things. Like I said, the expectation in some cases for you, Capricorn, is like, but really, if you knew you called out from your job a bit much, if you knew you came in late, if you knew you didn't make those sales goals, if you knew that you didn't do this or do that, why would you think that you would get a promotion or a bonus? Let's be real. I'm not saying that you're not right to feel how you feel. I'm not saying that you're not right to have your own sort of dream. But in those terms, especially for the job thing, I mean, I don't want to take for granted what you know about how your organization or your company pushes forth with promotions, but I would imagine they're pretty clear cut. You must have this many days served or this much time in your department. You must have this much in sales. You must have this much in creating revenue for the company, or, you know, handling cases, handling clients, whatever. I feel like most places give you like a little bullet point of what they're looking for when you apply for the next job, especially if you're an internal candidate. So if you looked at that list, if you had knowledge of that list and you push forward anyway, knowing that you called out, you didn't make goals, etc., etc., let's get honest next time, okay? Let's get honest next time. And that's right beneath the sun. And the honesty could be, were you ready for that? Were you really in line with that? A lot of retrospective is going to be happening here for you. I don't think this is going to be, I don't feel like a lot of casting forward. I think this is kind of in your present moment, and then you're reflecting to your near past. I don't think a lot of this is upcoming energy for you. Okay, Cap? Now, your last card in your main spread on the opposite side of where you began is the Justice card in reverse. Ay, Dios mío. I'll show you this card upright so you can get used to it. Now, this is more the problem, I feel. Justice card of Libra, so you might have a Libra of significance in your life, but it does not have to be. Listen, for those where this is a person, regardless of whether or not it's a Libra, and the fact that it comes under that High Priestess person, or potentially another person, I think this would be one and the same. And this person, when they spoke to you, when they made promises to you, when they said, I got the inside track, follow my advice, wrong, wrong, wrong. They were wrong. They may have, in some cases, misled you purposefully, but more than that, they are just a braggart. They talk a big game. They talk like they know what they're doing. They talk like they understand the situation at hand, or, you know, they know what it takes to become, you know, a senior level in this company. You should go for the job. You should apply. It's like, no, man, no. No, 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 no. Don't listen to them. This person, what? Okay, they wanted me to use the word corrupt, which is, to me, a heavy-hitting word to call someone corrupt. But for some of you, this is not for everybody. For some of you, this person is just not correct. Corrupt. Misleading. Misguided. Okay? Now, for those where it's not a person or it's just a different type of person, this person is just experiencing a bit of imbalance themselves, because the justice is about what's fair, what's balanced, what's right, what's equal, right? But in reverse, I'm getting not equal, not even, imbalanced. One side is weighing higher than the other, or, you know, in the scales, you know how it is, right? One side goes up and one side goes down. So some of them could have been playing games with you. Didn't I say that? Like manipulative, where they're just gassing you up, pumping you up, knowing that you're going to go into that meeting and get your bubble burst. Some of them knew that. I'm going to convince Capricorn to take that meeting or to go in and apply for that job, and they're not going to get it. And I'm going to sit here and be like, oh, that's so sad. But on the inside, I'm like, haha, I knew that. Someone, in a very few cases, someone's like a real dick to you. In other cases, someone just like is not aware. And I think I mentioned that before in the Valentine's Day scenario. Someone are just not aware that what they do is impacting you, or what they do not do impacts you. Like if you're telling them, oh, I don't care about Valentine's Day, it's not a big deal, they're taking you at your word. And they're not necessarily doing what's right or what would be fair in the situation. And now they're like showing me like a scrubby guy. So I don't want no scrubs, right? So maybe like over Christmas holiday or the New Year, this person you've been dating, male or female, it doesn't matter. You like gifted them things, you took them out on the town, you know, you showed them a good time. Capricorn, when you're interested in someone, you will show them a good time. You're not very miserly when it comes to people you're actually interested in, okay? And so maybe you were expecting the favor to be returned. Okay, it's Valentine's Day, we've been going out for like 6 months, 8 months, something like that. Maybe he'll make a good gesture. Maybe he'll make a good effort towards me, right? Or, you know, it could be a woman. I don't care who it is. And then Valentine's Day or whatever special day is coming up. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. You're expecting something great and they didn't do it. Okay, so they're not giving you what's fair and what's right in return. They're not reciprocating your energy. They're not reciprocating your effort. And let me tell you something. The quickest way to upset a Capricorn is do not show the same amount of effort that I put into you. So you can take that however you want. Maybe you'll cut them loose. Maybe you'll keep them around. I don't know. But if that ticks a box and you're like, that is true, think about it. Maybe this is the first time. Maybe you want to give them another holiday to get it right. I don't know. But if they continue to show you this, what you gonna do? It's not a dare or anything on my part, but I just feel like you would not be impressed with that. Not at all. Wait, were we done there, by the way? Before we go to the final there. For those where it's not another person that you're dating, that's a frenemy of yours or someone at your job. If it's just you, you're a solo chick, you're a solo guy, whatever. And I told you how you were relying very heavily on your own like esoteric knowledge, or you were going deeper than meditative states or astrological stuff or just the intuitive stuff, and you were like relying only on that. You were unbalanced, or imbalanced, I should say. You weren't being clear. You weren't being even keeled. When you rely too much on something, you run the risk of like the scales tipping over, you know? If you're completely in this world, in this 3D space, there is no God, there is no other world, there is no creation, there is no whatever. Not calling out an atheist or atheist beliefs specifically, but if you're just so invested in what you can see in this physical 3D world that we exist in called Earth, and you ignore the possibility of a fourth or fifth or sixth or any other type of existence, it's kind of like, maybe you shouldn't do that. And if you believe only in the conversely, you're 100% faithful in some type of God or higher belief system, right? You don't put value in science and the physical world around you, which is where you inhabit every day, then you run the risk of tipping the scale in the other way. You need to find that middle ground, is what I'm feeling. And you did not. So, this is what happens. Now, your outcome, Capricorn, is the Four of Pentacles. So, I feel you're paying a price. Some of you are literally paying something out of pocket to cover some expenses, or because you didn't get that bonus, you're not going to be able to take such and such a vacation, so you're having to pay more into something, or, you know, kind of restrict yourself some other type of way. But there is this idea of paying into something more than what you want, or restricting yourself so that you can pay for your bottom line. Does that make sense? The other part that I'm getting is paying your dues, but not in a monetary sense, like paying your dues. Like some of you, like I said, you were kind of jumping the gun here. You were kind of overestimating yourself or overestimating your chances in a situation. And so now it's kind of like, no, back to the drawing board. Like, get, you know, back to work. It's kind of like, and I again, don't want to fault you for dreaming and wanting what you wanted. I just feel that someone or something is telling you, listen, you've only been in this job for a year or two. We've got people here who have 5-6 years experience. You know, it's just not feasible for us to give you that promotion, or for us to give you this, or for that person over there. You really, and that's not the best way to run a business, because, you know, it's been proven that, you know, it's not always down to tenure. It's sometimes it is down to raw talent. And so some of you might be kind of in that situation where people are trying to tell you, you know, have a piece of humble pie, slow your roll, and wait your turn. And you're like, I don't know about that. Because there is sort of this reluctance of feeding into whatever this contraption is, right? So some of you have to monetarily feed into something that you don't want to save money or pay money out when you'd rather be doing the opposite. And others of you have to pay into a system, or you're being encouraged to wait your turn, don't jump the gun. And you're like, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. I don't want to hold on to this. I want to either move forward or get the hell out of here. So there is an issue here about that balance, that even exchange of energy and time and effort. You don't want to waste your time at this job if you got to wait another 5 or 6 years just to move up. I have the skills, I have the talent. So some of you might be reevaluating what you're putting your money and your effort and your time into. If it's worth it, you'll keep at it. If it's not, maybe reconsider. Okay? Your overall energy, dun, 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 it's you. The Devil card, Capricorn, it's you. Now, don't be afraid of your own card. If you're familiar with tarot, you will know the Devil is not all that scary, even though this looks like a very menacing and kind of creepy photo, or illustration, I should say. As your overall energy, control is the problem here. Control, control, control. And I just rolled my neck and my head in such a weird way. And I feel exhausted. I feel bothered and annoyed. I feel frustrated. And this idea is, thank you. You thought or think that you have a hand, much as this card is depicting, puppet master, right? Can you see it? That big mechanical thing, and the strings that are attached to the people below. And the irony is that those people below, one of them is holding a wrench, and the other one is shoveling coal into the fire that is feeding the Devil. So the things that you thought you have control over, the puppet mastering that you're doing, actually, it cycles back into you somehow. There's a master and owner kind of thing here. Or, for lack of a better phrasing, master and slave kind of dynamic, where do this thing. You know, the people I have dominion over. Do this. And the thing that I want you to do benefits me. Feeds me. Gives me my power. Control, control, control. Now, the interesting part about it, Capricorn, is that that control exists only as long as the people that you have control over, that you have dominion over or influence over, agree. If these people do not agree, If these people do not feed the machine, if these people do not, use their tools to benefit the huge mechanical devil, the devil loses its power. So that's not a warning. I think that that's an issue for you. I think for many of you, the issue is, like I said, I have these expectations. I have these goals. I have these visions of my future. I have this mindset. And my focus is on this. But other people factor in. Other elements and details factor in that are beyond your control. And you have to reconcile yourself to that. It's not going to strip you completely of your power. You're not going to be any less of a person or any less of who you are if that kind of becomes something you can sort of be okay with. But there is this idea of, I feel like a restriction. I feel like I have to have it this way. And anybody who's in my way, I will have to, it's like a restricted. I want to work with the people and the places and the things that support me and feed me. And I'm not used to having no control or influence or some type of hand in what another person says or does and how that might affect me. I know that might not be 100% clear, but that's what I'm getting. You're very powerful. You're very strong. You're very the ironic part of this for you, Capricorn, or for me, is what I'm feeling, is you are self-sufficient. You don't need other people for the most part. You really don't. Or is it that you are reluctant to recognize your own influence on your own situation? And maybe the part of the puppet master is a blame game. I can't have that because this person did this. I can't experience this because that person said that or didn't give me what I wanted. Therefore, you know what I mean? I would, if this was a personal, I would clarify that. But it's a general, and I don't clarify in generals. But that's really interesting. I hope you got something out of this, because that's the end of your reading. I can't sit here with you guys all night. But Capricorn, I hope there was something here that you could find that helped you or really enlightened you in some type of way. Or in general, I hope that you liked the video. If you did, there's a like button down below. Go ahead and click on that. There's also the share button where you can share this across your social media. You can send it in text and emails to people, let them know what's going on in your life. Or if you know a Capricorn who's going through this and it's not your life, and be like, look, girl, she knows your life. I don't know what's going on with you, but she knows your life. Share it. That'd be cool too. Also, down below is the comment section. If you want to leave me comments, let me know how this resonates with you. That would be great. And of course, the biggest, coolest button of all down there is the subscribe button. If you want to subscribe to my channel, if you're not already subscribed, that would be amazing. Click the notification bell and you'll be up to date on every time I release the monthlies, and of course when I release the birthday readings, which I recently did for you last month, right? Or yeah, last month. So I'll do that for you guys in due time next year, or later this year, excuse me. But yeah, subscriptions, if you're into it, if you don't mind, click that button. If you don't want to do any of those things, I totally understand. It's absolutely your choice. There's no bad blood between us, okay? All right, Capricorn, I'm going to be back in about 3 weeks' time, I think, I hope, I pray, when I bring you your March 2019 readings. I thank you so much for watching up until this point. Take care, guys. Bye.